All right, so this is going to be my review of the Godzilla vs. Kong movie. I'm going to do mine a little differently than what people do normally. They go from start of the movie to end of the movie. I want to actually talk about the fights first. So we're gonna go in order of the fights, and then I'll kind of touch on more of the human element of the movie, and then we will talk about not Godzilla, but Mecha Godzilla. I'm gonna touch on that last because honestly, it felt like an add-on to me. It didn't feel too like it felt out of place kind of, but we'll touch on that later. So I want to talk about that aircraft carrier fight first, the very first fight. So we're going to go in chronological order basically of fights, even though there's technically only two, but I have seen some people count split the Hong Kong movie into after Kong hits Godzilla with the axe, and that's round 2, and then they get up again and fight again, and that's round 3. I honestly I guess because in the movie they do say it goes or Kong it's round 2, but that we'll talk about that later. I want to talk about this aircraft carrier scene first. I enjoyed this. This was honestly my favorite fight in this movie. I thought it was better than Hong Kong. Obviously, Hong Kong had a lot. There was a lot more there, a lot more substance to it. But I just like the fact that Kong's out of his element, doing everything he can, and he honestly put up a decent fight against Godzilla. Now, obviously, Godzilla's in his element; he's in water. But when he got up on the ship, Kong took over. So whenever Kong, was when they were on land, basically, or on the ship, it felt like Kong had a little bit of an advantage there. Close combat, that's where Godzilla does not excel at all. He wants to use his atomic breath. He wants to be far away. So when Kong is that close, he was getting shots in, knocked him in the water, and then, that's when Godzilla's like, yeah, I'm just going to atomic breath you to death. I did not like how it ended, though. So basically what happened, the end of the fight, Kong rolls over onto a ship. I think it was actually the original one that he was first on when he was in chains. I think that was the ship he was on. But he rolls over, and then the humans are like, we're just going to cut the power, and Godzilla just, doesn't sense them anymore because the ship, is not moving. I thought that was very dumb. I did not like that. Honestly, if you're Godzilla, I would be over there okay, let's go check if he's dead, You have the advantage. You're in water. This is your territory. This is where you excel at. And you just kind of look. Obviously you're far away, so you can't, see Kong's face. But, I would be going in closer for a look if I was Godzilla. The fact that he just is like, oh, he's dead. Okay, we're just going to go on our way. Just, go do something else. Whatever. Ships aren't moving. It is what it is. That, that felt really dumb to me. That part I did not like. It just felt really awkward. And then they're like, okay, well, we can't start the engines again. So how, what are we going to do with Kong? So then they airlift him to Antarctica. Now, the stupid thing is did Godzilla go back when the ship started up again and Kong was gone? What happened to all the people on the ship? Are they dead now? I don't know. You can't think a lot with this movie. It's just monster fights. They excel in monster fights. This isn't really branded around the humans. This is branded around monsters fighting each other. But I just thought that, the whole fight scene just ending like that, it just was very weird to me. I did not like that at all. But, you got to shut your brain off for things like that because this isn't very detailed. This is not about the humans at all. So then, Kong gets his axe. I honestly like the Hollow Earth scene. I hope we go back there sometime. So apparently this was the last movie in the legendary Toho contract. I'm 99% sure they're gonna re-sign and do an extended contract. The way trying to hit the 70 million opening weekend with this movie. So people want to see more legendary Godzilla. So I expect you know we're gonna go, or Legendary is gonna go, and they're gonna renew a contract, and then we're gonna get to see Hollow Earth again because I really like that. They did not define any of the creatures. They had some like arthropod creatures, and then they had some small lizard creature that ate the bug basically. And then we got I forget the vulture things. I forget what those things are called. Those things actually have a name. I don't remember. Then we got, I think it's the war bat. Are those like king cobra type of things called? I like those creatures there. Kong in a mini fight with a war bat. Which I mean, technically, if the humans weren't there, Kong would have probably suffocated to death. Honestly, I've seen people haven't really talked about that. But I mean, the Warbat had it's like web, whatever you want to call it, but he had like stuff all over his face, the part of his body. It's like a gliding part, I guess, if they can glide. I don't know. But it was over his face, and it was like suffocating him. And Kong only got out of it because the humans shot military technology at military missiles at him. Which, by the way, I like how it's established that since 2014, the 2014 Godzilla, they've upgraded the military weapons. I like that. So now, Godzilla gets hurt now. He never got hurt by the 2014. Ghidorah got hurt in the King of the Monsters movie. I like that. Like, monsters can actually get hurt. Like, humans are smart enough to say, okay, we got to adapt, we got to evolve, we got to figure out a way to get our technology to, be able to damage them. And they do in this movie. They obviously do in King of the Monsters too, but it shows that they save Kong and whatnot. So, and then you have Mechagodzilla, which again, I mean, man-made. And it was a weapon just to take out everything. So they adapt. I like that more than just Mechagodzilla, though. It's missiles and whatnot that can do it. So I like that the military upgraded. They've had I think it's like 2022 or 2023. I think this movie takes place. I don't remember exactly, but it's around this time period, around present day. It might be a year or two in the future though. But Kong goes down Hollow Earth, gets his axe, and then Godzilla just shoots a beam straight down, and you can't see, or Kong can't see Godzilla, but he obviously hears him roar, and they just they go down, up, down, whatever you want to call it. It's weird for the Hollow Earth. Gravity's weird and whatnot, but Kong goes up to the surface basically, and then they have their fight. I like that the axe was actually, really useful. It wasn't, it's not a movie where it's just, it's a one-time thing and then he just kills Godzilla in the end or whatever. Like, Godzilla takes the axe to his thigh. It gets stuck in his thigh, and then he basically, gets Kong away and then uses his mouth and just flings the axe at Kong, Kong dodged it, but I just thought, a lizard, can't use his hands, so he's just going to use his mouth, It's perfect spinning rotation, Again, ignore that physics. But, like, Kong with the axe is just, all over, supercharging it. And then we get that beautiful shot of Kong in the air smashing the axe on the head of Godzilla. It does not stick to him. It does not, decapitate Godzilla or whatever. It just kind of, when it hits his head, the atomic breath kind of goes everywhere and it knocks them both out, basically. Kong gets up, but, it knocks them both down for a minute. And then you just see the axe is just on a pile of buildings that Godzilla's beneath. So it never really stuck to him or anything. I think it would have been cool if you just have, like, Godzilla has it in his head or something and, just... I don't know if he uses his hand and just kind of brushes it down or something. Like, that would have been kind of cool just to see it, just have it stuck in his head. But this movie was good as it was fine without it. I just thought, just a little tiny detail that I'm adding in that could have, made it a little better. So yeah, then they count that round two. I honestly, it just feels like one big fight. Honestly, if you want to count it as a 3-round fight, go ahead. Then technically, Godzilla wins 2 out of 3, so there is technically a winner here. because after that he gets up. And I love that after he gets back up, he kind of is walking around the city like a lizard on all fours, you know, using his hands on building, just kind of walking around, you know, laying low, and just kind of acting like a lizard. And then, you know, there's a scene where Kong is on his back on the floor, and Godzilla's trying to bite his feet, and you just see him, you know, pushing off. Kong kicks him away and whatnot, just backing away. He's on his back, backing away, and Godzilla's just on his feet, on all fours. I thought that was so funny. But, you know, it makes sense. He's a lizard, technically. So, you know, I like that. I like that they added that in. And then, you know, it finishes up. Godzilla steps on him, basically stops his heart with, you know, the pressure of him stepping on him. You get Godzilla roaring at him, and then Kong roaring back. With that scene is going to go, that's going to be everywhere. It's probably going to be wallpapers, it's going to be GIFs, it's going to be, you know, everything in the future. But I like that, you know, Kong waited until Godzilla was literally almost done because he didn't have a lot of air. So, you know, he did what he could. And then Godzilla basically was like, you know, you're done. I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to spare you. I got respect for you now. But, you know, I beat you fair and square. Even with an axe, you had a weapon and I still beat you. So he starts to walk away. Then we get the whole Mecha Godzilla fight. And oh my god, Godzilla takes a beating here. This man, he takes everything and just keeps getting up. You have the start of the fight, you have got Mecha Godzilla breaks out of the mountain where basically they've been building him the whole time. That's the reason why Godzilla was in Hong Kong, is because he sensed them building Mecha Godzilla. And it turns out that it's technically Ghidorah controlling Mecha Godzilla. Basically, the system goes haywire, and Ghidorah basically has control of Mecha Godzilla instead of the human, so it goes, you know, rogue and whatnot. Breaks out of there. he kills off the villain, which it's very textbook generic villain. He's monologuing, and then he all of a sudden notices the heroes, the human heroes, for Godzilla's side, basically walking backwards, slowly getting away. He turns around and he just swipes the villain away. It's just it's so dumb, but I laughed at that. But then, you know, again, I'm off topic. But, you know, we go in the fight, and I mean, he felt Mech Godzilla Falcon punches. Godzilla basically, they have a beam struggle which lasts like 2 seconds. And Godzilla just, you know, overpowered right away, goes down. And then there's this scene where Mechagodzilla throws Godzilla into a building, and it looks like Godzilla's dead. He's down for the count. He just fought Kong. He's injured. He's got a bad leg, which I mean, the crazy part is after the axe is stuck in his leg, throws it back, and, you know, he fights Kong again. This man goes and rushes Mechagodzilla at the start. He's running. Both legs. It's like his leg isn't even, like, hurt. Like, this man just takes it and just goes. And he's full speed. They clash. And then, again, later on in the fight, as I was just explaining, like, this man is just getting beat down, and he looks dead. He's laying in a building. You can't see his head. They go camera angle where it's from a human's perspective, basically. And Mechagodzilla's just stepping on him. He's pounding him down, and this man is just taking it all. And you just, like, I thought he was dead. I thought they were literally going to kill Godzilla right here. For a split second, then I realized, you know, they can't do that. The amount of money this movie is making, they can't kill off one of their stars. So, you know, you see Kong get up, and I love the thing where he pops his shoulder back in, and he slams his shoulder into a building and pops his shoulder back in to get back in the fight. Basically saves Godzilla. They team up for literally, it's a minute of the movie. It's a literal minute about. It's so short. They team up. Godzilla gets beat down again. Kong gets beat down a little bit. And then it ends with A human character. So basically, there's two human elements in this. There's an element that follows Kong, and there's an element that they don't follow Godzilla. They're trying to figure out, what's going on with Apex, basically. And the Godzilla side is basically they're trying to hack into Apex a computer to shut down Mechagodzilla, which is basically, again, King Ghidorah, basically, technically, all that. And one of the characters, I think his name is like Ernie or something, has a special drink where, if he knows he can't go on it any farther, he's going to, get drunk and die, basically. And they pour the drink on the computer, and it saves Kong from basically, getting an eye poked out from Mechagodzilla's tail. And, and then it's just, Godzilla just barely does anything for the kill. He just superpowers Kong's axe, and Kong decapitates him, decapitates his arms, his legs, rips out his head. That is technically a callback to, I think it's the first time they have Mechagodzilla in a movie where in this, I think it was the 60s, he rips out the old Godzilla rips out the head of the Mechagodzilla back then. But then in this movie, basically Kong got to do that, but it's technically a callback to that movie. But and that ends it. And then basically, you think they're gonna fight for a fourth round. You think Godzilla's just he roars and they both get up. And as a sign of respect, Kong drops the axe and says, we're just gonna do this mile on mile. Where no axe, just you and me. And basically Godzilla's like, yeah, I respect you. Good job. We got Mechagodzilla. We killed King Ghidorah for a second time. And I'm out. I'm gone. And so that's how the movie ends. And then Kong basically goes down to Hollow Earth. He gets to a new Monarch station down there. They keep track of him. Gia is, I guess, living down there now, which I didn't really touch on. But they basically, they can speak sign, or she can speak sign language with or I guess taught Kong to speak sign language. And then the older woman, when she's speaking to Gia, and then when they're on the ship early in the movie, it's just like, he can't understand us, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Kong's like, yeah, I can talk. I've heard you guys the whole time. So, they're basically down there. Gia's basically down there. I did not touch on the rest of her tribe, basically. So basically, in the start of the movie, it is told that the storm from the 70s that we see in Kong Skull Island, basically that has moved onshore. It's gotten smaller, I guess, as it moved onshore to Skull Island, killed all of Gia's tribe. So basically, all of the native people of Skull Island are dead except for Gia. Kong saves Gia, and then somehow between the 70s and I'm gonna just say 2021. I don't know the exact year. It might be 2023. I think it is for some reason. That number sticks out to me. But between that time, Monarch somehow built a containment area so Kong can stay safe from the storm, basically. Which I mean, honestly, I think he's gonna be fine. But it is what it is. So Gia is basically the last of her kind, and now she's in the Hollow Earth. And there's a bunch of Monarch people down there. I'm guessing that older woman who also took her in, just like Kong kind of did, is probably gonna stay down there. I'm guessing that guy who I don't even know what organization he's from. He's probably some government organization, but basically there's this guy, Nathan is his name, and he wants Kong for some reason. It's not fully stated. They just want to transfer him and get down to Hollow Earth. That's his whole motivation, basically. That's not a lot outside of that explained, but I'm sure he's down there too with them. So, that's the main part, is just the fights. And then real quickly, because we're about 20 minutes into this already, I'm gonna go I just want to talk about that, Mech Godzilla stuff at the very end. So basically, I don't like it. It's literally like the literal last 10 minutes of the movie. Mech Godzilla comes out, beats up Godzilla. Kong goes in and saves Godzilla. They team up, kill Mech Godzilla, and that's basically the end of the movie. Like it's just rushed through. It's dumb. If you're gonna do something like that, then why even have Mech Godzilla in the first place? It's apart from fan service. So I don't like that. I don't like that it was so short. He's technically built up throughout the movie, but it's just you have a 10-minute fight scene. They spent years making this, and then this guy just goes down. And if you're like movie time. If you're in that universe, it's probably he's dead in 5 minutes after reawakening or not reawakening but awakening, and just going on fight. It's probably 5 real world minutes is how long he survives outside of the mountain. So it's so dumb. I would have rather a whole separate movie dedicated to just Mechagodzilla. Now I get it because the contract is up, but the fact that I mean. It's technically a crossover movie, and you need a villain, but I think the way that the movie is done in the box office, again I bring up China with 70 million opening weekend alone. I mean it's just I think it's going to be renewed. You could have probably just held off on Mechagodzilla. They're probably gonna just make Mechagodzilla 2.0 and just like, yeah, we're gonna have a whole new movie just about Mechagodzilla. Like the last version survived 5 minutes, so we're gonna have to build an upgraded version that lasts 30 minutes or something like that. Like, so you could have easily gone with some third level type of villain, monster, well, kaiju monster, whatever you want to call it, and just have them beat up. I would have loved to see Biollante. No, well, I think Biollante deserves its own movie. That's an underrated character. Destroya is obviously going to get its own movie. So you went through them. So you just another Muto. No, Muto Pride. I don't know. You just maybe you make a new one, and it's just it somehow survives after getting decapitated or something, or there's an egg it laid right before it died or something. Like, just do something like that instead of just 5 minutes of Mechagodzilla, which it's I didn't like that. That's what I didn't like is in the Japanese Toho movies, he's a threat. He beats Godzilla a lot, near death a couple times, and Godzilla barely makes it out to beat Mechagodzilla. In this one, it just felt like, again, Godzilla's already injured. He's pre-injured from the Kong fight, so he's obviously gonna not be that good against Mechagodzilla. At full power, fully healed, whatever you want to say. Full power, I guess we'll go with. Godzilla could have probably taken him on his own, honestly. And that's even without burning Godzilla. I mean, this man... King Ghidorah is easily the strongest villain. Stronger than Mechagodzilla. Even in the Toho movies, King Ghidorah is just way stronger than Mechagodzilla. So, I mean, you tack on burning Godzilla, and Mechagodzilla doesn't even last as long as King Ghidorah did. And King Ghidorah only lasts like 5 seconds. I mean, Mechagodzilla just melts in two, just from one shock wave, or heat wave, of Godzilla's attack. And he's just gone. Like, there's nothing left. So, I want to see them. I want to see redone, bettered, whatever you want to call it. I just want to see Mechagodzilla get a shine again later on. In another movie, because again, it's almost certain that they are going to extend the contract after, again, ever since like 2014 did okay. People were mad that not enough Godzilla. We got Kong Skull Island, big blockbuster hit, loved. We got King of the Monsters again, really loved, and then now, numbers are still coming out, but Godzilla vs. Kong is still really loved too. And obviously, we don't go see the movie for the human element of it. If we see it for monsters, we see it to punch each other, kick each other's butts. That's what we're there for. That's so they're not gonna be like, oh yeah, the human characters did really good in this, so let's make a 10-parter about just them. Like, no, we go for Godzilla. So, he's guaranteed. I mean, he's a moneymaker. He always is gonna be. Kong is obviously going to be a moneymaker too, especially after Skull Island. I think they revamped him really well, and Godzilla vs. Kong helped him out too. So two blockbuster monsters. You're going to need them again. So I think they have to renew it. So I'm going to wrap up there. That is my thoughts. This is a 25. We're going to be about 26-minute video. Let me know if you had any thoughts on it. Again, I thought the fights were the best part. I didn't even touch on the humans really because it's just I didn't want to. The whole subplot of the Godzilla side, trying to figure out what is wrong and what is going on in Apex could have been cut. I mean, I love how people were talking about how they're sneaking around a base and no cameras. No one saw him or anything. So I thought that was kind of dumb. I agree with everyone that's talking about that. But for now, like the video, share the video around, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, peace.